Good morning, LKN. 7:34. Happy Friday. You can tell by looking around here, we know the trends.
Oh, yeah.
And
especially in design.
I mean the colors, particularly.
Definitely.
You can say the gray is not in, and we know that by looking at us because we're at the top signal. But it's important to know what is in if you're thinking about buying or selling a house, because people do care about that kind of stuff, actually. Someone who knows that, Jeff Snye of Blue Oak Realty, who joins us this morning. Jeff, good morning to you.
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
So I hear earth tones are back. Are all the sellers swapping out all the decor, the furniture, the fixtures? Is it all earth tones right now for you?
No, nobody's following that so far. It's yes, that's what's in from, like, say, if I have stage a home.
Okay.
Because I am one that firmly believes in staging and
Helps seller gets more value, showcases the home in the perfect way with furniture to show spacing, etc. Professional decision there, Jeff. Great job.
Thank you. And nice, excellent local company right here in Cornelius that I use. And yes, she is using earth tones, textures, whatever. So when they come in, definitely looks on trend and matches everything that I'm reading. People have not rushed to do that, though, in their own home and just make the switch, and that's fine. So that, whatever works. The market isn't that picky yet.
Jeff, you're talking about people like maybe haven't, and market's not that picky yet, but are people reaching out to you right now and saying, hey, I'm thinking about maybe listing my home in a couple of months. What should I do? Or do you give them tips and things like that if they're thinking about starting to list? Yeah,
that's pretty much what happens a little bit before the holidays, but then definitely once we've cleared out of that, that's exactly what I'm going through. I just had someone reach out yesterday, and so I'm going to pop over there next week. We're going to take a look. It's casual. I guess I get a little fortunate where, people like in my neighborhood or in a lot of people just in Huntersville are familiar with me, thankfully, and so it's not such a formal thing. It's already kind of, hey, we feel like we know you and whatever, or we do know you. It just pop by, tell me. And so we go through and, take a look. And so it's like, I would change this, I would fix this, I would do this. Or sometimes people are just thinking of projects, right? And hey, we're not going to sell, but we know actually that we're going to do it next year, but we got to do a couple things. Can't do it all. Which one? Which one's going to get us more return in the back end type thing. So
it's amazing because I imagine when you're sitting down at the listing appointment for sellers, most of the time what you're hearing is, I want the most money I could possibly get. I would imagine that's a common phrase that's used. And is the shock value still there from, in COVID, right? And 3 years after it started, you could just get rid of your house if you wanted to as a seller for whatever number you pretty much wanted, right? We'll say that was the magic thing you could do.
Yeah.
Now, though, that's kind of shifting. If you're a seller, we kind of do have to plan a little bit more. You can't just throw it to the market and expect it to be gone tomorrow.
Yeah, and that's very true. What we're looking at now, I liken it to how the market was before COVID, where you got to temper expectations, you got to have more patience, and you got to find that win-win. Right, the leverage isn't strong enough on either end to really just push against someone. You got to find something to give up, and that's happening. It's funny, we still have some sellers that think it's 2022, but now there's some buyers showing up that are acting like it's 2013. With the just your house has been on for more than 2 weekends. I would like it for $100,000 less. And it's like, okay. So we are getting a little bit of that as well. But for the majority, we're just seeing where it's actually taking conversations. It's taking that, all right, let's really break this down and add or associate value to X. Like, hey, this timeline really works. That here's the value to you based on what you have going on as the next step. That's really helpful, and we're probably not going to get that from a lot of people. So you may want to give a little on the price and meet them a little closer, that type of thing.
A lot of people that come into North Carolina say North Carolina's really weird with real estate, right? They call us weird in every way that we do it. Due diligence period, attorney closing, all this other kinds of things, right?
That tracks.
But the due diligence period for you on the listing side, What's your mindset like once you get under contract, right? It's an as-is contract, but traditionally speaking, right, a lot of times people try to negotiate after the fact, after you're under contract. What's that process like for you from the listing? How do you prepare for that? What do you tell your sellers, and how do you, because it isn't just get under contract. We got to get to close. If you want that cash, you got to get to close.
Yeah. And a lot of times, honestly, it's the hard part comes after you're under contract. And on the contract itself, and you know this better than anyone, I'm all but positive it literally in all bold says sold as is, but it's not at all. And yeah, so I'll tell them ahead of time, here's what's going to be. We're going to have the inspection. They're going to come back with some stuff. There's potentially a survey. They're going to, with termites or whatever. I don't want to say prevalent down here. I don't run into it that often, but it's a possibility versus the north. So they're always going to do a termite inspection. I like when my buyers do a radon test as well. I mean, it exists around here.
Especially at the lake. I mean,
yeah.
We're at the lake.
Yeah. So, I mean, we see that as well, and you never know what's going to come up. So you just kind of tell them, hey, if this pops up, this is this and whatever. And, it's one of those where you could say yes to everything. You could say no to everything, or you can kind of figure it out. And usually trying to figure it out is the best way to go. So, I mean, that's what we do.
You're a calm guy. You see, every time Jeff's come in, I feel like he's calm, even keeled. But when you're like on the phone negotiating, like when you hang up, or do you like hang up for the other side? Dang it! I can't believe. Do you just start shouting like to let it all out, or how do you process? Because you're really calm for an industry that is pretty chaotic most of the time.
No, there's a swear jar at home. There is, and
you shout into the jar. Is that how the swear jar works?
Oh no. No, and the junior partner, my son, he got that for me a few years ago. He's definitely made some bank. It has helped, but it's not great. My mother's not super proud of that, but so I have that and I pay into it. But that's how I deal with it. Not during negotiations. There's usually, and I try not to have this, but there's usually one transaction a year for sure that the Detroit comes out of me, and it's usually rough. But man, I try and keep it together as long as I can for that. So, but look, it happens, and there gets to a point where it's just wildly unreasonable, and it's like, come on. So.
Yeah. Jeff, if there's somebody who's listening who maybe moved here, they've been renting for a little while, they know that they want to be in Huntersville. Is there a chance for a first-time homeowner to buy a house in Huntersville? Like, what does it look like for somebody, like their very first home? What does that look like whenever you're walking them through that process?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a number of financing options available to them. It's obviously a townhome is a less expensive way to go. Huntersville, for example, doesn't have any traditional condos for some reason. We're not a condo prevalent area, no matter what, but certainly there's none in Huntersville that in the traditional sense. So you would have to go townhome, or you'll see that single family home, and there are a number of neighborhoods where they were building, those like 3-2 ranch homes in the 90s, early 2000s, that type of thing is where you saw a lot of those. You can get into those at, what are considered our first-time home buyer prices.
What range would that be in?
Depending on the neighborhood, for a home, you're $350 plus on up to, $425. You're probably going to want to update some stuff. I think that's good, though. It builds a little character. When you have to do something to your home and there's a project and you don't have the ability financially or otherwise to just get it all done right away. So now you're saving, you're being more mindful, you're growing up, and then when you get it done, you like it that much more because it's like, yeah, I did that. I worked for that. You maybe put your own time into it as well. And it's yours. So I don't know. To me, I think that's a good thing. There's a lot of buyers that just been trained by TV that they're supposed to walk into perfection. And I don't know. I don't find that to be real life or as rewarding, but
It's time to sub out the beanbag chair for the love sack. You know what I mean? That's
the upgrade right there. Yeah, we did that a few years ago too.
Jeff Snide, Blue Oak Realty, BlueOakRealtyGroup.com. Check them out if you're in Huntersville area and you're looking for someone to help you navigate this real estate market. And it is the wild, wild west. Still, don't be fooled by that. It definitely is. Whether you're listing, whether you're buying, Jeff and his team at Blue Oak Realty can take care of you. BlueOakRealtyGroup.com. Thanks, Jeff.
Absolutely.